Hey everyone, it's Robin from Humane Yoga here. Today's sequence is all about your spine. So the spine is the area where a lot of the energy centers run through, chakras, meridian lines run very close, and this is the area where we get a lot of tension. So by stretching out your spine in a slow way, we actually get to work into some of those connective tissue areas, and that adjacent areas like the hips and the shoulders can really open up, which will really help you in feeling rested and more peaceful. So for today's practice, you'll need 2 bolsters, or if you don't have any bolsters, grab 2 pillows from your bed and a blanket and 2 blocks or some large books. And I'll meet you back on the mat in a moment. So for today's practice, we're going to be just seated on our mats to begin with. It's a very slow yin practice to open up your spine. So to start, you can either be in this weird cross-legged position where your right foot's just a little bit in front of your left, or if you like, you can go into a half lotus, or you can cross your right leg over your left. Some people like to do this with a block, so you could be seated up on a block like me. It just brings the hips higher and really helps open. So I'll just demonstrate in this position. This sequence is all about the spine. So the spine, if you imagine like a long cloth, we want to twist it to really wring out all of those toxins, all of those things that are sitting along the spine, just to let the energy flow properly so that you feel more relaxed. So once you pick your option with your crossed legs, you just want to gently twist around to your right. So twisting around to your right. And we're just going to close the eyes. Now you don't have to go very far here. We'll try and keep it nice and peaceful, not too much talking through this practice. You'll feel the spine, feeling this nice twist up the spine. You may also be getting a little bit of a twist in the opposite hip. So that left hip or that left glute. And just close your eyes, let your shoulders drop, and find your breath. Focusing on deep inhalations and exhalations through the mouth or through the nose. If you're really wanting to let go of what's happening in the body, you can exhale through the mouth. It's the connection that we have with our body, signaling and letting it know that it's time to let go. Take a nice deep breath in and just allow yourself to twist a little more if the body is feeling that it could go a little further. Exhaling, twisting, and then inhale gently, slowly coming back to center, and just sit comfortably for a moment with your eyes closed. And we're just going to walk forward a little bit, bring the head down, round the back. Nice deep breath in. And slowly walk yourself up. Lovely. So switching over your legs. So as I mentioned, you can either be in this half cross-legged position with the left leg in front this time. You could have your legs fully crossed with the left leg or maybe into half lotus. Or you can go into crossing the left leg over the right. I'm still sitting on my block, so I'm going to keep that there. Feels quite comfortable today. So just noticing how that's working for you. You don't have to have everything completely aligned. It's where you can feel the stretch. And what we're looking for is just having that stretch into the left hip, if you have the left leg on top. Okay, and now we're just going to twist around to the opposite side. So we'll go around to the left. And just notice how that feels just by gently twisting from one side to the other. And you don't have to go very far here. Just close the eyes and allow yourself just to twist gently until you can feel the spine starting to open. You may find the hips start to open a little as well. Support yourself with your hands, one gently behind the sit bones. And closing the eyes and allowing yourself just to breathe in. And then exhaling either through the mouth or through the nose, depending on what you feel like you'd like to let go of today. And now take a nice big inhale, and if you feel like you want to twist a little more, then twist a little more. Wherever you are, just breathing and twisting gently. And then exhale, let everything drop down, keeping your eyes closed as you come back to center and just start to walk forward a little bit, rounding the spine. And just letting it stretch. Stretching into your lower back, into your spine, up through the neck. And now inhale, walking the arms up, slowly coming up head last, and then opening your eyes. Just remove any prop you may be using under the hips and shake out the legs, extending them, making them nice and long. And you can either lay down or you can sit comfortably. I'm going to sit in Caesar. Let me just sit here for a moment in keeping silent, allowing that stretch just to settle and integrate into the body, starting to move the energy channels. You can feel it through the physical sensations along the spine and in the lower back. Nice big inhale again. Feel yourself up through the chest, down to your belly. And exhale. Slowly open eyes and we'll move to the next pose. So our next pose, we're going to need those 2 sleeping pillows or your bolsters. I'm going to grab 2 bolsters this time. Might be a little high, so I'm just going to leave them here and I can adjust as I go. So bring yourself to the front of your mat and have the bolsters behind you on the right side. So right leg in front, and then swing your left leg just next to you, behind the left hip. So you might find that this left knee comes in a little bit closer, a little bit further away. Depending on your anatomy, you're just going to do what feels good and just trying to keep both hips on the floor here. And we want to just let this open up through the hips. So you can try and balance on 2 hands here, either side. Or if you like, you can just leave them on top of the leg. Try and be nice and long through your spine. Let the shoulders drop. Just breathe here. Nice full deep breaths, have the eyes closed. Again, keeping the hips balancing, and the left leg might feel a stretch into the quad at the front of the thigh. This is completely fine and normal. Remember, everything's connected, so it takes time for it all to open up. So just be gentle with yourself here. Now take a big inhale and gently just twist over your knee, over your right knee to the right side. I'm going to try and keep both hips down while you do this. And you should feel stretch in the left quad coming up quite strongly. You might start to feel the spine twisting, maybe into the right side. This is good. We just want to keep this for a moment. Soften the gaze down. I'm just going to hold this for a couple of breaths. Preparation for our laying twist. Now, if you're feeling comfortable here, you're more than welcome just to stay in this position. Completely okay. If you'd like, you'd then grab your pillows or your bolsters, depending on how high they are. You might decide just to lay over it and bring the other arm over. This hip doesn't have to stay down anymore. You can actually bring it up a little higher if you wish. Just don't let the knees come together. You want them to stay apart. This will give us more leverage into the spine. So some people like just to lay here and really feel the spine stretching up through the middle and through the side body. Other people prefer to give it a full twist and come down and lay on the blanket or the bolster, the pillow, wherever way they like. And this will really get into the spine. And you may also decide that 2 is too much and maybe a blanket underneath the head is nice. So whatever way you're going, just find your way there. I like to have my abdomen down a little bit. So just notice how these hips go, making sure that you don't bring your knees together, but just keeping them apart. And then as you twist down, you'll start to feel the spine opening. So really juicy stretch. When you've got a really tight spine, you can just stay here for a very long time. So come down, be comfortable, and just breathe here. And as the body starts to open, maybe you go into your twist a little more by laying further on the abdominals or stretching more with your arms over your head. Just feel that gentle opening through the spine and just exhale out and let it go. And nice big inhale. Place your hands next to your prop and walk yourself backwards. And then come up just to seated for a moment with the twisting of the spine. Take a breath. And then very gently bring yourself back around to our original position. Maybe you need to swing that leg back a little bit more again. Rebalance your hips and then gently just take a breath. Notice how it feels down your spine. Which side feels like it opened more than the other? How are you feeling mentally as well? Breathing in deeply. And exhaling and releasing. Slowly opening the eyes and just bring your legs in front of you. Make any movements you need. Push that prop away from you and just sit here for a moment. Spine nice and tall. Take a moment just to reflect on how you're feeling physically through the sensations, any emotions. Maybe there's a sense of peace that's starting to come. And just breathe in and exhale. And gently open eyes, and we're going to switch sides. So grabbing hold of whichever props you're using, and you're going to flip them over to the left side. So I'm going to switch my bolsters over. Now left leg comes in front this time, and right leg swings behind. And again, noticing where that feels comfortable. Sometimes a 90-degree angle is too much and you might need to be in a little more, but just walk it out to where you think it feels good and where you can keep yourself evenly balanced on your hips. Remember, everyone has different skeletons, so it's going to be about how it feels in your body. Okay, and just once you've got your adjustments right, and you can feel like you can be on both hips evenly, then allow the shoulders to drop nice and long through the spine, pull the belly in and close the eyes. And we're just allowing the body a moment to open, to begin the stretch for us. So you could be feeling it in the lower body, could be feeling it in the right quad. All of these areas are target areas for what we're doing at this time. Warming up the body, getting ready for your twist. And now take a nice deep breath in. You're just going to twist over your left leg to the left, looking behind you. Now remember, you shouldn't get too much of a stretch here. We don't want this right hip to come up like this. You want to keep it down. So keeping it down gives you a little bit of a twist action. If you find that it feels better for you to stay in this position rather than lay down when we go to do it shortly, then you're welcome to stay here. So just find what feels good for your body. This actually feels really nice for my neck, looking over my shoulder. So variations, always experimenting and looking for new things. Breathing in and just taking your time to allow the body to open. Try to let go of the glutes and keep the core in a little. Keep the spine nice and long as you twist. Okay, now very gently move your pillow bolster near your hip, and you're going to work out which way you want to lay down. So this time I'm going to just lay on my side and bring my arms up. Remember, legs don't come together, you want to keep them apart. You can let this right hip come up a little bit, but you want to keep the rest of the body down. So some people prefer to be on their bellies rather than their side. It's completely up to you. You can always move there later as the body begins to open a bit more. And just breathing here. Now as the spine starts to open, you might shift positions. Starting to move more onto my belly now. And just allowing the twist to gently open up through the lower back into the spine. Or you may focus on the side body. Wherever you are, just breathing and feeling this lovely stretch. And nice big inhale, exhale through the mouth, and very slowly walk yourself back up. So you're just doing your twist behind. Let that right hip come down a little. Close the eyes, noticing the difference in the back as you twist here. And then inhale back to center, bringing the hips down again, allowing them to settle evenly, adjusting legs if you need to. And just breathing in and out. And then gently open eyes, just bring your legs back up, knees point to the ceiling, feet on the floor, and gently just either hug the knees, keep the spine straight, or you can sit comfortably cross-legged. Just going to sit for a moment, just letting that integrate again, becoming aware of the changes in the body, feeling into the back. Nice and long through the spine. And now gently just open up your eyes and just move props out of the way now. You want to keep the blanket close and one of your blocks or your books. So for the last part, we'll be doing a spinal twist. So 2 options for your spinal twist, and just laying on your back, knees pointing up towards the ceiling, feet flat on the floor. So you can easily just bring the knees up and drop them over to the right side. And you adjust the height depending on where your back needs the stretch. So higher up you are, the more in the upper back. Middle will give you a middle back stretch, and lower down will arch your back and give you a lower back stretch. So you can do just that. Otherwise you can cross right leg over the left and then just twist over this way. Now, thinking of the legs and arms like levers so that they can wring out that cloth I talked about earlier, you can either bring some weight onto the shoulder or you can reduce the weight. So you might decide, if you've got your legs crossed over, that you want to put a block underneath. This can happen in any of the other variations as well. You're also welcome to place your blanket on top of one of your shoulders on the opposite side. This will bring some weight down into the shoulder, which will then increase the stretch, or you bring it underneath your head. So any of these are fine. And then with the arms, palms up or down, either stretching them out or signposts or up over the head. So many options in this twist. You could just be twisting in different ways for a whole practice if your back needs it. So I'm going to place the blanket over me to get some heavier leverage and just rest here. And we just breathe and let the back do its thing for us. And now gently inhale, you start to move back into the center. Just place props to the side if you're using them, and hug the knees into the chest. Give them a nice squeeze. Maybe you rotate in opposite directions. Maybe you just roll around and massage. Just whatever feels good. You can keep the eyes closed if you like. And then drop the feet down, and we'll set up for the opposite side. So this time I'm crossing my right leg over my left, or as I said, you can just drop the knees to the side in whichever variation you prefer. Noticing if any of them feel more effective than any of the others. At the moment I'm feeling the crossover is really nice. So crossing over, grabbing whatever props you need, and I'm going to place the blanket over my shoulder again, and this time just arms up over my head, giving myself a nice big stretch along my spine. And I can even use my blanket here as a little pillow as I turn my head. So many options. And I'm just breathing here, and comfortable, and just relaxing my mind. Again, letting the twist do its thing for me. And very slowly start to release your stretch, bringing it back to center. Remove your props and hug the knees in. Make some movements. If you'd like, you can do a half happy baby, either grabbing the foot or around the back of the thigh, or both. And just allowing yourself a moment just to breathe in and release here. And then very gently opening. And letting that nice stretch really move down the legs into the lower back. And then release, wiggle the fingers if you like. And then find your way to your Shavasana. And you just allow yourself to rest here in Shavasana. If you'd like to place one of your pillows underneath your knees or underneath your head, you can. And you just stay here. Just breathing gently. Very gently just make a little movement with the body. Maybe you move the head from side to side or wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a deep breath in, bring the arms up over the head and stretch. Toes away, fingers high, nice long body. And releasing. Gently start to roll to one side. And slowly, slowly bring yourself back up to seated. And just take a moment just to check in. How's your body feeling after your practice? How's the energy feel along the spine? Can you feel the movement? And one last deep breath in and exhale. Slowly opening eyes. Feels really nice just to do this beautiful spinal twist to really open up the body. And I hope that you have this lovely peaceful feeling that I have right now. And I wish you the best day ahead, or if you're going to bed, a wonderful night's sleep. Namaste, and thank you for practicing with me.